About 15 billion trees are cut every single year. And because of this, pollution happens. There's about 4.6 million deaths occurring due to air pollution. I mean, think about it. So we have 2.65 million people that have died because of COVID, something that everybody's going through. And we see that as a lot. That's a lot of people. Well, 4.6 is almost twice as that. And the worst part is that air pollution is something we can't stop. We can have an impact. If we increase sustainability, we're able to stop these innocent lives from dying. And because of that, my team and I came up with something called Saving Lives Life, which is something to help the world be a better place, making an impact while at the same time meeting people's needs.
So people want wood. It's nice looking, it lasts long, and it gives a home a natural feel. Take a look around you right now. How much of the furniture around you is wood? I know in my dorm room, most of the furniture here is wood. When wooden furniture grows old and starts to warp or crack, what do people do with it? So often you see the wood just being left by the curb or thrown away where it ends up eventually in a landfill. And this can lead to so many problems, like higher sickness rates near landfills and millions of tons of wood waste, according to the EPA. People don't usually think of upcycling wood.
So our mission is being able to cultivate a sustainable future while improving the environment to promote a social and economic well-being in order to ensure a safe community for current and future generations. So our solution to this includes our first step, which is collecting wood scraps and furniture from thrift stores, yard sales, donations, and from local wood recollection centers. Our second stage will include a restoration on these products and the use of a unique product, which is a treatment that will help restore the wood. This way we'll be able to upcycle wood, which will feed into our third stage, basically the start of building our brand new wooden furniture. We're focusing on creating 3 sole products, which are tables, chairs, and headboards.
Thanks to a German team that cultivated an eco-friendly resin, we plan to create a malleable biodegradable base that can be used to create all types of furniture with 3 simple steps. We start by breaking down old furniture and wood scraps into wooden chips. The mulch is then blended with our epoxy base and placed into our mold. Our final product is a wood polymer base that can be bent to the wanted shape before fully curing. And here's a visual representation of our treatment process.
So now I'd love to give an example of how the cost structure would look like. So for instance, let's say we obtain a second-handed wood furniture. We could either get this donated or we can purchase it from a second-handed store. In this example, let's say we purchase it. So a chair from a second-handed store is maybe about $10. Keeping in mind it's in a really bad condition. The treatment and cost of the restoration is about $30. We sell this chair for about $120. So it costs us $40 to make. We sell it for $120. Giving us a profit of about $80, doubling our initial cost amount and giving us a 200% margin.
So our philanthropy is our motivation for the startup. Every year we'll donate 25% of our profits to a nonprofit organization, such as Trees for the Future, and donating supplies to students. And on Earth Day, we'll promote awareness about our business and upcycling, which will include a sale of 35% off our products. It's not too big, but it's a good size to attract new customers. So our philanthropy feeds directly into what we stand for, our business ethics. Our main 3 components include sustainability, the tree of life, and of course, giving back to the community. We want to emphasize a sustainable culture that improves society's welfare. The tree of life is our inspiration for creating this business, as it is a symbol of unity and strength. All trees develop into their own unique and beautiful ways, and this is represented in our business as it shows that we can create something new and beautiful with resources available. And lastly, philanthropy. Giving back is super important to us, especially for the sake of the future.
So now let's talk about our future development. So right now we're local. However, we would love to expand primarily to the east side. There is more trees towards the east, and that's something we're able to make an impact. Our goal is to create physical locations all over the US, as shown on the map on the left. Right now, as we mentioned earlier, we are focusing on tables, chairs, and headboards. However, we would love to add more furniture pieces to our collection in the future, as well as add customized pieces in order to increase our customers and market size.
So our competition right now is with people using either unsustainable methods or having unaffordable pricing. And the usual method of wood creation is something called manufacturing wood, which is basically wood made by a mixture of real wood as well as adhesives and chemical preservatives. For example, Bayou City Lumber is a company that uses chemicals to make the wood a better quality, but the chemicals are toxic. The Etsy store Rethunk Junk uses resin in their upcycling wood process, but the resin itself is very toxic and unsustainable. And Thuma, finally, is a sustainable company, but it's pricey.
So let's talk about our market size. We are aiming to get millennial generation as well as Generation C. Research shows that 73% of millennial generation is willing to pay more for sustainable goods. And 62% of Generation C is, I know they're entering workforce this year and they prefer to buy from sustainable brands. I mean, think about it. That's about 94 million people in the entire US. That's 29% of US population, almost 1/3. I would say that's a pretty big market size. Also considering the fact that these generations, they're usually starting their, their grown-up life, they need furniture for their apartments. So this is a huge market size for us to target for this Saving Lives Life brand.
Our team consists of a diverse group of women that come from all over the US and offer an array of perspectives due to culture and location. Our team values sustainability and strives to be the change the world wishes to see in our community and the environment.
This concludes our presentation on our startup in creating Saving Lives Life. With the tree being the source of life, it is extremely important to take matter into our own hands and integrate sustainability into our community and meeting people's needs. And that is something we are here to do with Saving Lives Life. Thank you so much for your time. Is there any questions that we could answer for you?
Great, thank you. Judges, you have 5 minutes for questions.
Great presentation. My question is, in terms of future development, would you guys do anything other than furniture?
For right now, our focus is just furniture.
I meant like in terms of wood, would you guys upcycle anything else aside from furniture?
Yeah, so like I said, for right now, our focus is wood. However, we might consider, upcycling something else in the future to, help the world make a better impact. But for right now, that's our main focus. Because I know people talk about, let's recycle plastic. That is a very common topic. However, upcycling wood is not that common of a topic, and we feel like it's just as important. So for right now, that's our main focus.
And in terms of furniture too, like in the future, we are considering expanding just from furniture. Like first we're expanding our furniture collections, like which types of furniture we're going to upcycle. And then after that, we're planning to move on to like other types of wood, like maybe like, when like you cut the branches off dead trees, like maybe just that sort of stuff.
Great, great presentation. So my question is, how do you plan on funding your venture?
So just to verify, like where we get our funding and our money from?
Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the money of the wood will come from donations. We also mentioned we'll be having recollection centers. So I know there's a lot of people that are willing to donate old furniture. So because of that, we'll be saving on our costs and spending on wood. So that's a huge part. We'll be kind of, funding our company, our business from donations. And also, the profit that we make from our, our furniture, like the example that I gave you a little bit earlier with the chairs. So just, trying to make profit and increase our customers.
We can also reduce labor costs because we're going to try to rely on volunteers, specifically high schoolers and college students who need volunteer hours and are willing to work for a sustainable environment.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Thank you for your presentation. My question for you is the competitive landscape. So when you were doing your research, how far did you look and what different types of competitors are you looking for? So for instance, I looked up upcycling wood and I found that IKEA products have 98% of the wood that they use is from sustainable resources, including recycled wood. So there might be other competitors out there besides the ones that you found, for instance.
That is true. Yes, we did look into that and I did see the IKEA example. What makes ours different, I think, is the way we upcycle. and I guess how, like, our philanthropic goals. Gabriella, do you want to elaborate on that maybe a little bit?
Yeah, so we really want to emphasize like our philanthropic goals through our business. We want to be as sustainable as possible, taking things that are readily available, especially like at thrift stores. I used to work at a thrift store, so we would get an influx amount of old furnitures, desks, bookshelves, and they were in pretty good condition. And we sold them for cheap too. And especially for our generation, I try to be as sustainable as possible. And I would rather buy a used furniture piece and rather than buying an actual new one to try to be as sustainable as possible.
So then you're saying you wouldn't have to put them through the wood chipper and turn it into new material. You can actually just rehab the old furniture, which would help save you some costs.
Yes, it also just depends on like the condition of it too. What we want to do is kind of do like a mixture of both. So start from new or kind of build onto it a product.
Yeah, it depends on the quality of the furniture being brought in. If it's in like really bad shape that just cannot be like refurbished, then we'd have to put it through the wood chipper.
Okay, any last questions or judges? You have everything you need? Okay, thank you so much, Team 2. You did a great pitch. This is insane for just a few days, so pat yourselves on the back, and you guys can head back to the main session room. Amanda can put you in a room with your mentor, Riti, and y'all can debrief if you'd like. But thank you so much, and we'll see what happens later on today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.